Danny on the beat, boy. Danny on the beat, boy.
Hey, I think there we are. What's going on? I think y'all can hear me now, right? Give me a one if you can hear me. Can I get a one in the chat? All right, I got you, Griff. What's up, Griff? Hey, everybody. Hey. Let me see. It's hard to see with these glasses on, but I got to stay true to character if y'all saw what we had going on, right? We got to stay true to character. All right, what's up, Lakeisha boy? What's up? How we doing? Good evening. I see Miss Belinda Bennett in the house. What's going on, Miss Belinda Bennett? NC Notary Coach. How we doing tonight? Ron Ninja. Yo, I like that, man. That's a dope name. Hey, again, I just want to say thank you, everybody, for joining. Let me introduce myself for those of you that don't know me and just saw this on the whim and said, hey, let me check this out. My name is Quentin Smith, also known as Q. I also go by the Captivated Notary. I am the founder of Captivated Notary Marketing Solutions. I'm also the host and producer of the hit Notary podcast, Notaries Unsealed. Shout out to my Notaries Unsealed team. What's up, Uncle Griff? My man, Matherin. What else I got going on? I got a lot going on, man. We'll talk about that at some point, but listen, hey, so tonight, Notaries Anonymous. If you guys haven't gotten the tip already about what this is about, this is an opportunity for you guys to call in and say whatever it is that you want to say about the notary business, whether business is doing good, whether business is doing bad. If you want to talk about somebody, respectfully, of course, if you want to talk about somebody, go ahead and call in. Don't be shy. I will not be showing nobody's number. I will not be showing anybody's name. Now, I need you to understand something, okay? When you call in, I'm going to say, thanks for calling Notaries Anonymous Hotline. Would you like your voice to be private or not? At that point, I need you to either say yes or no. Give me a second and I'll make the adjustments so that way your voice can be private if that is what you would like to do, okay? I hope everybody understands that, okay? So when I answer, just give me a second and then I'll tell you when we can continue. So, before we get going, I want to make sure that everybody is aware of the rules, all right? So in order to do that, I'm going to do what I do best, and that's pull up a video. All right, rules for our callers. Rule number 1, no cussing. Rule number 2, if you're going to call someone out by name, be respectful. Rule number 3, be ready to support any claims with facts. Rule number 4, this is my platform. I will respect you and you will respect me in the platform or get blocked. Very easy. Number 5, do not call in under the influence of any substances. Hey, listen, I know what time of night it is. All right, not even just a little drink. I don't want none of it. Number 6, I will disconnect any call if I feel the caller has violated any of these above rules. I think that's pretty self-explanatory, right? All right, so the phone line is open. I have opened the phone line and I am ready to talk to anybody that is willing to call in. 484-549-1767. Call in and let me know what you got to say about the notary business today, and let's talk about it. What we got? Nobody's calling. All right, well, in the meantime, while I wait for you guys to gather up the courage to call in, I had a great conversation. Wait a second. I got a phone call coming in. All right, welcome. Thank you for calling Notaries Anonymous Hotline. Would you like your voice privatized or no?
Private.
Give me 1 second. I got you. All right. How are you this evening?
Very good.
Very good. Awesome. All right. So tell me what you want to talk about.
I want to talk about Notarized Easy Link.
Notarize Easy Link. Okay.
Are you familiar with them?
I've heard a little bit about it. If you want to educate me a little bit, I'm all ears. Maybe some other people haven't heard about it.
Just trying to figure out what the goal of the Notarized Easy Link actually is.
Okay. What is it about the Notarized Easy Link that is causing you to question it?
Well, it's a little bit hard to discuss if you're not really familiar with it. So,
Well, I mean, if you have the information, we are all ears. We got to get it from somewhere. So go ahead and speak your piece.
we'll just maybe try and check it out and touch base back with you guys another time.
All right, I appreciate it. Hey, have a great evening, all right? Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you for being the very first caller on Notaries Anonymous. I appreciate you, whoever you were. And we will take a look at that. You know, maybe the guys that, me and the fellas, we will check that out and see if it's something that we can talk about on the podcast. But again, if you're going to bring anything up, please make sure that you are ready to discuss whatever it is that you're bringing up. There's a huge notary world and a lot of people are doing a lot of things, and I'm busy building something. So I'm not 100% versed on everything, but on a lot of things. So if you want to talk about something, definitely open to hearing what you got to say. What's going on in the chat room? Come on, guys, this is an opportunity. Anything that you want to talk about today, we can definitely talk about it. Like I was saying earlier, I had a great conversation earlier today, and let me just make sure I get all of her information up, so that way I can tell you a little bit about this individual. Great conversation. She's doing a lot right now for the notary world, and she owns a signing company, Timely Signings. And I am talking about Melanie. Oh, what's your last name, Melanie? Melanie Kilty, it appears. So Melanie she told me a little bit about some of the stuff that she has going on. Now, first of all, the signing agency, she makes sure that that her notaries are aware of the documents that her title companies that she works with are using. So one of those forms that she goes over with the notaries, it's a 1099-S. She makes sure she'll walk them through, call them beforehand, just to make sure that everybody is aware and unconfused prior to or even afterwards. She does a really great job. She seems extremely personable. And so another thing that she told me that she had been working on was getting health insurance for notaries, which I thought was really interesting. So if you guys have not checked out Timely Signings, I would highly suggest checking her out on Instagram. All right, so you guys don't want to talk on the phone this evening, it appears. What's going on now? Nobody? So Griff asked, what's going on with companies not paying? Well, interesting enough, in speaking with Melanie, she kind of divulged a little bit about that. And you guys got to understand, like, the signing companies aren't getting, a whole lot of money for each one of these signings, right? And they too also have things that they need to pay for within their businesses. They're a mediary that is going to get a piece of the pie as well. And, the pie's not that big right now coming from a lot of these title companies. Some of the larger ones definitely is, but some of the smaller ones, it's not. And so notaries really need to be aware of what's going on right now in the industry. All right, so who's going to be the next caller in? 484-549-1767. No? Well, I'm just gonna sit up here and talk until somebody has, the courage to give us a call in. Oh, wait, I got a call coming in. And the call disappeared. Well, that was rude. All right, call coming in now. Thank you for calling Notaries Anonymous Hotline. This is Q. Would you like your voice to be private or are you good?
Private.
All right, give me 1 second here. I'm just stay on the line for a second. This is not doing what I would like for it to do, so give me 1 second. All right, you should be good to go.
Okay, cool. Hey, I just want to say thanks for having this because this is going to be great for us notaries, and I really, really, really appreciate it. And I just want to give a shout out to all the notaries who have decided to stick in with this business. We know it's hard. It's been hard for a lot of us, but I'm just so happy that individuals decided to stick in there and hang in there and keep trying to do the best they can to grow their business. That's all I have to say.
Well, I appreciate it, caller. Hey, thanks for calling and make sure that you continue to listen and call back on another Tuesday. All right, we'll talk to you soon. All right, well, that was a nice call. Thank you. I appreciate it. And you know what? The caller made a great point. There are a lot of notaries out there that, they're really trying to stomach this business. Oh, we got another call coming in. Hold on, guys. Thank you for calling Notaries Anonymous Hotline. This is Q. Would you like your voice private or are you good with it on its own?
I'm good with it on its own.
All right, now talk to me. What you got on your mind tonight?
Well, I wanted to bring out the topic of a lot of these notaries that are online teaching, and it's not that they're not teaching good information, but it's not always state specific. So a lot of other notaries that are just new in the industry are being misled or misguided, thinking that they're going to the source versus going to their actual state to get a lot of the information that's going to help them more on the local level, especially when it comes to their notary laws. And I just feel that a lot of people need to be very transparent when they're actually giving out information as far as what they're able to do to help others, so that you don't have the novice out there spending so much money, but they're not benefiting completely when it comes to their hard-earned money that's going into this information, that may not truly be beneficial in the way that they're hoping to receive.
You know, you bring up a really good point, and I have a question for you. How could we clean this up to help notaries that are just coming into this, or even notaries that, you know, may have had their commission and not done anything with it, and, you know, when it was time to recommission, they said, okay, let's see what I could really do with this. How could we fix this or clean up this aspect of training, so that way people take training that is actually specific for their states and what they're going to be doing?
Okay, so for some reason, I can't hear you as clear.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay. So my question is, how do you think we can fix notaries not taking proper courses? You know, there's got to be a way that we can clean this up a little bit so that way people aren't spending money on courses that they don't actually need. What would you propose?
I just feel that those that are teaching the classes, that they really need to be very honest with who they are. Again, you have some that are very skilled in certain areas, but when you're dealing with the notary practice, being a notary public, they need to stick specifically understanding what their gifts are. Some people have the information but don't know how to teach it. Some people know how to teach, but may be misguiding. And so I just feel like it needs to be more of an ethical thing. If a notary public stands for honesty, trustworthiness, and integrity, then they need to actually show that when it comes to what they're doing completely. Because it's my belief, if you're doing the right thing, everything's going to work itself out for you at the end. But do not misguide people purposely because of your reputation in other areas where, again, it can become problematic for the individuals that are following you.
Well, you know what I got to say? I got to throw one of these out there for you right now because you really just killed it. You know, this is an interesting thing, and it's something that I think really should happen within the states. I know that there's organizations out there like GAN. I know that the notary coach in North Carolina, Belinda Bennett, I know that she's working on some stuff. And there's a lot of folks that are involved in the state. I really think that, you know, we have to partner with the Secretary of State at some level. At some point, somebody's going to have to step in each one of these states, so that way we can have state recommended training. And so that way, when people are just coming in to getting their commissions, you know, here in Pennsylvania, we have PAN, right? And PAN is the default for a lot of questions when it comes to notary stuff. You know, the Secretary of State will say, hey, yeah, contact PAN. They'll have a better idea, which I think is ridiculous. But every state should have some type of list of recommended training that if you're coming into the business, you should be able to look at and say, okay, I can go to these specific places and get the training that's required for me, and I know I'm going to get the state law. Now, I know a lot of people aren't going to like me saying that because a lot of people are making a lot of money off of some courses teaching people that have nothing to do with anything that they're doing in their state, right? And they're not teaching how to properly notarize at the moment. So in my eyes, that would be the best way of cleaning that process up. It's going to take a lot of work. It would take a lot of commitment from a lot of notaries to get it done, but I think it's possible. How do you feel?
So with your point, I agree with you, but it goes back to the Secretary of State is a government organization. So if you think about real estate, if you think about attorneys, who they answer to is a bar association, some type of association that holds them accountable when it comes to the license they carry. And we should have something similar that will hold that same weight and responsibility to help those that are looking to get more information, as they should be well trained because of the violations that if they commit, it is at a high price. So when you're thinking about the responsibilities that a notary would carry, then that should be the first and foremost is securing, you know, notaries getting the right information from the beginning through their entire journey, as long as they're staying in that position, to always get the best. And again, it's going to take notaries collectively to really enforce these things for their state to push the envelope. Because if the state is what is approving the commissions, then they should also make sure they're backing us in everything else that we're doing if we're actually essential workers.
I agree. You make awesome points, and I hope that wherever you are influencing notaries and helping your brethren and sisters out there in the notary community to get the proper understanding that they need.
Thank you, Q, for this opportunity.
I appreciate you calling. Make sure you call back.
All right.
All right now.
Thank you very much.
I gotta figure out these sounds. Like, you know, with the podcast, we got the sounds going and everything. And a lot of that's not a lot actually. I do some post-production stuff with the sounds. But I have the soundboard hooked up to this, so I am trying to figure this thing out, and we will definitely be adding more sounds to these lives because they're fun. Don't tell me that they're not. I know they're fun. All right, do we have another caller calling in? Anybody else want to talk this evening? The floor is open to you. If you guys didn't get a chance today, I'm not playing games on my phone, guys, I promise you. If you guys didn't get a chance today, we got a new Notaries Unsealed podcast that came out today, every Tuesday. Make sure that you check that out. And we've got a new sponsor coming into the month of March. I want to say what's up to Miss Ebony Locke of the 757 Notary Sisters, and she's got a great new directory that is growing, the Notary Connects. That's CONNE. Is it EX? Griff, I know you're out there in the chat. Can you put the link to Ebony's the Notary Connects in there if you get a chance? Matthew, if you got it too. I see you guys in the chat. If y'all can put it in there for everybody. If you haven't heard about the Notary Connects directory, definitely check it out. And there's different types of directories out there right now for notaries. You know, you've got 123 Notary. I think Notary Cafe is almost, I don't know, is anybody really on there? Oh, anybody in the chat? Does anybody in the chat know if Notary Connects is still on there? I mean, not Notary Connects, I'm sorry. If Notary Cafe is still popping. People still using that? Is anybody in the chat still using Notary Cafe? Throw a 2 in the chat for me if you're using Notary Cafe right now. No? Well, that should tell you something. So with what Ebony's doing, she has done a lot. Oh, somebody said okay, so Mashonda uses the forum. What's that? Griff said Notary Cafe has grumpy notaries on it. You know, if Griff is calling somebody grumpy, they really gotta be grumpy, right? Griff, you know I love you, man. Get off my lawn. But Mashonda, so Mashonda uses Notary Cafe still. Hopefully the forum is useful. I think the last time that I was on it, I just didn't like what I saw. The conversation wasn't that great on there. A lot of complainers. And to be honest with you, that's a little daunting for somebody just starting their notary business if all you're hearing is people complaining. You know, but there are notaries out here that are not complaining, and they are doing a great job, and you know, they are leaders in this little notary niche that we got going on right now. All right. So I never said how long this thing was gonna go. I'm gonna give it another 10 minutes or so. If anybody would like to call in, oh, there comes another line. All right, thank you for calling Notaries Anonymous Hotline. Would you like your voice to be private or no?
Let everybody hear who I am.
Oh, we know who this is.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah, what's going on, party people? The first caller, or that second caller, she was on point about what the trainers need to do. You know, that transparency and disclaimers about what they are able to teach and not able to teach. You know, the limitations is important. And y'all know I've been saying that for over almost 2 years, that we have a right as notaries, as business owners, to hold them accountable to what they are teaching us and whether or not what they're teaching us is valid and relevant for us in our state. And I think with everything that happened this past pandemic, just like in 2008, they made a change in the way mortgages are done. I think the signing companies and title companies are going to be making, if not already, making changes on how they use mobile notaries. And
it's very possible.
I think the emphasis, yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah, oh yeah, I can hear. I'm just saying it's very possible. You know, the way that things are kind of shaking out if you're paying attention. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think they're making some changes, and they're going to adjust how they use mobile notaries and require mobile notaries to actually know what they're doing. Because over the last year, I've had more and more signers tell me that the title company has already gone over the documents with them before I get there. So if you're being trained to go over the documents, but the title company and everybody else has already done that when the signers get there, the only thing left for you to do is to make sure you notarize properly. And they realize that notaries have overstepped their bounds and are doing things that's causing them to lose deals. So it's going to be very important for you to separate yourselves from these other notaries by proving that you know what to do. And after Q's done here, I'm going to be dropping a video tonight talking about what you need to do to get more signings. It might not be what you want to hear, but it's what you need to hear, and having a better understanding of what these signing companies are looking for from us. And if we can figure that out, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit, and now it's going to be important, in my opinion, that each one of us make sure we know how to make money with our stamp, rather than just primarily focusing on teaching somebody starting a notary store and all that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when there's nobody to train, when there's nobody to buy the stuff off of your store shelves, you still got to be able to go out there and make money with that stamp. And there's plenty of business out there for us each and every day.
You're absolutely right, man. Hold on, I got to give a little something from the podcast.
I said, can you dig it?
I think so.
Griff, you know, you always make good points, and I think that, you know, on the podcast we've been talking about this a lot. Times are changing. And you know what? You have been a resource for a lot of folks, and I know that you're going to continue to be a resource for a lot of folks, and put them up on game and recognize that it ain't, you know, we ain't Kansas no more. You know, I think Kansas, speaking like the Wizard of Oz, off to see the wizard, you know, all that money was coming in. People got spoiled. We ain't there no more. And probably going to be a while before we go back, man.
Mm-hmm. That is true. I mean, they're looking for quality notaries now. And what's hurting some people, back in June of last year, around June-ish of last year, everybody was complaining about reverse mortgages. Everybody was complaining about loan mods. I don't want to do them. I don't like doing them. I don't like being around them old people. But guess what's popping? Loan mods and reverse mortgages. And you don't have experience doing it, and you missed out on 6-7 months of being able to do it, and now you're scrambling. But don't give up. The opportunity comes and you can get in there, take it, and learn. But don't sit down on the sideline no more. Stop making excuses about what you don't want to do, and go out there and do it, because you never know what the future holds. And this is where we're in the future now. And people are missing out because they didn't take advantage of opportunities that was clearly laid out in front of them 6-7 months ago.
You are right on the money. I wish that I could wake up to an alarm of that every day. Actually, you probably can, because I'm pretty sure you can set a YouTube as your alarm wake up nowadays, and you could put that on YouTube, Griffin. People could listen to that while they take a shower every morning and get ready for their day. You know, go out there, make the money. You know, and here's what ends up happening when you think that you should be making 175, 150 per signing to get to your end of the month. And Griff, I know that you've talked about this a lot at extensive length. It takes, if you don't make that 175 for signing today, you know, today's Tuesday, you don't get that on Wednesday. Now, how much do you need to make, you know, Thursday and Friday to get to your quota? Right? Everything adds up. So taking the $40 that's close to your house, the $60 that's cross town 10 minutes away, you know, you got to take as much as you possibly can to see how much that's going to stack up. Now, listen, it is very possible to make 10 grand a month in this business. Griff, you know that, but you also know the amount of work that it takes to do that. So for any of you notaries out there that are just getting started, if you think that you're just going to start making 10, it takes work. You're talking 5 or 6 signings a day. Why don't you try stringing along 5 or 6 signings a day for a week? You know, like have a 1-5 signing day a week, and see how much tax that puts on your body throughout the week.
Yeah, and that's why I'm always tired.
That's why you're always. I know that. I don't know. I don't know if the people understand that, but I know that. You know, but when you start doing that every single day, now you're gonna find out what it takes to make that kind of money, and
doing it consistently for months on end.
Yeah,
that's the thing. That's the thing, because the source that you have, whether signing companies or direct or general notary work, is that 10 grand there every single month, no matter what the market is doing. And right now, the answer is no, because it's not there consistently in general. It's not there consistently in loan closings. But overall, it's there. You just got to be able to pivot and move, and you'll be able to make the money. And for somebody who says, "Well, I'm making 10 grand no matter what," you know, in my general notary or my specialty notary work, well, guess what? You're probably in an area of the country that is popping, but other people aren't. And that's what you have to understand. It's all based on where you're at.
Location, location, location. I think that's the first rule of real estate, right? I mean, listen, even McDonald's ain't in the hamburger business, they in the real estate business. Look at where they're located.
That's right. Well, I'm gonna hop off so y'all can call on in, party people.
Hey, Griff, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for calling in. Always a pleasure, and we'll talk soon, all right, man?
Roger that, and y'all hit that like button.
Yeah, hit the like, subscribe. Also, check out Griff's channel, Griffin Notary, if you're not over there. I'm sure most of you guys already are. All right, got another call coming in. Thank you for calling Notaries Anonymous Hotline. You're on with Q. Do you want your voice private or you good?
No, it could be public.
All righty. Talk to me. What you got going on?
Q, my man. This is Joseph Haskins, Indianapolis, Indiana, with the Mobile Notary Network. This is an awesome forum that you put together. Much love for doing this, man. I know this is not easy, so thank you very much for doing this.
Oh, I appreciate that, Joseph. Joseph, you are that dude. Listen, man, if y'all want to know about an up-and-coming notary that's got his head on straight, man, this dude, Joseph, my man, Joseph, he is doing some things out there in Indianapolis. He's coming. And if you're in the Indianapolis area, I suggest you get on your business, because this man got the fits. He got the decals. Man, listen, Joseph, I'm in awe, man.
Brother, I appreciate you coming for him. But hey, one of the things that as I've been listening about the, training or kind of the emphasis on the trainer But I think also, like you said, with me being an up-and-coming notary, taking over the city of Indianapolis and the surrounding area, one of the things that I found that it was behooving on me, just like in all the other areas of my life, for buyer beware. And I had to quickly understand that, man, everybody out here that was talking a good game in this notary business wasn't all about, my well-being more so than their own. So I think it's behooving upon the trainee to make the trainer I need to interview that trainer and make them tell me why I should hire them as my mentor, as my trainer in this business, and interview them. So one of the things that I think would be really cool is to see, because just like anything, the government can step in, but I think overall it would be great if we didn't allow that to happen. So what I would like to see is if there was like an interview sheet where some of the older notaries in the game say, hey, when you new notaries come into the game and someone wants to train you, interview them and ask them these questions, make them earn your business. And I think that would help to kind of limit, because everybody talks, hey, I can do this, I can do that, I'll teach you this, I'll teach you that. And then you find out, well, these folks been in the game for 5 months. It's like, how you going to teach me all this and you've been in the game for 5 months? That's what I began to see. So I had to kind of do my own research, my own homework, and slow down and be like, okay, let me see who I gravitate to and who's consistent in what they're saying, but also, I'm a land this plane. But what I'm saying, all that said, is I think it's behooving upon the trainee to make the trainer earn your business as to why they should be your trainer and not just the game that they're talking, if that makes sense.
Bingo! You are absolutely correct, bro. And that's the thing. When you're going to get training, you feel like a novice and you're green. But you also need to realize at that same moment, you're a business and you're making a business decision. You can't make that decision like you're green.
Right.
Awesome point, sir.
I agree.
Awesome point.
Yeah,
Anything
I
else?
think a lot of folks that come into the business they're hungry, they're looking for a change, they're looking to get out of their current job, or they're young, and these things sound good, 10,000 a month, da-da-da-da-da. But like you guys just said, do you know what it takes to make that 10 grand a month? And if it were that easy, would not everybody be doing it? And so I just think it's behooving upon the trainee to slow down, consider what's being said, and make the trainer earn your business. So that's all I got, bro.
Respect.
Hey, Joseph, I appreciate you calling. Make sure that you continue to listen, and Joseph actually, he is a customer of Captivated. For those of you that don't know, I run Captivated Notary Marketing Solutions, and Joseph has been a great customer, and I'm looking forward to continue to working with him. So I appreciate you calling Notaries Anonymous Hotline, and we'll speak soon, sir.
Appreciate you, Q. Thank you, bro.
All right, man. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
All right.
All righty now. All right, that was a great phone call representing the state of Indianapolis. Or state of Indiana. Wow. That's off. Tech, what's up, man? I see you was in here. I don't know if you're still in here, but what's up, man? I appreciate you jumping in. Tech out there in the West Coast doing some interesting things, man. If you're interested in finding out anything about automation, that is your guy. Tech, what's your IG? Go ahead and drop your IG in there. I'm gonna try to find you right quick. See if I can find you. All right, so Tech's IG is Dr. Tech Music, DRTEKK Music. If you're interested in finding out about automation, it might be something that saves your business. It might not. You never know. But if you want to find out about it, that's the guy to talk to about it. All right, we got another call coming in. Thank you for calling Notaries Anonymous Hotline. You're talking to Q. Do you need your voice private, or are you good as it is?
How about public? I don't mind.
All righty. What's going on? Talk to me.
I just got a question for you.
All right.
And everybody listening.
Okay.
If business cards and flyers and decals and logos and umbrellas and door hangers, if all that stuff really works for getting clients, how come the question continues to get asked?
What question?
The question is, how do I get clients? How do I get more appointments? How do I make it worthwhile? How do I do anything outside of just putting my name on the next listing database, signing directory? And how do I make it worth my time?
Well,
Dropping off goodie bags, biscuits, scones,
do you listen to Notaries
smoothies.
SEO podcast? I do. I do not advocate dropping off no goodie bags nowhere. Absolutely not. That ain't me. That's not what I do. So that's my question to you. What is it that you'd like to do with the business? Because there's a couple different things that you can do. Have you decided how it is that you'd like your business to run? Do you want to be more signing service based? Do you want to do more loan signing, or would you rather focus on general or what they call specialty notary work these days? Is that what you want to focus on? What have you decided so far?
Well, the question is, if this is worth my time, then if $65 is worth my time, then I'm good. I'm fine. But if you only call me once every other month, then that's not okay. I need to be more consistent, and I need jobs that are going to at least pay me what I think is worth my time, and I also need to have it pay me worth my time and do it consistently. Otherwise, I might have to look for another alternative to what I've been trying to build for the last 2 years, 3 years, 4 years.
Well, let me ask you. Can I ask you a question? Let's slow down. We got time to talk. You got time to talk? I got time to talk. You good?
Yes.
All right, cool. So when you say, is it worth your time? Let me ask you, how much time have you put into building up a market for yourself? Are you looking more to do general notary work or loan signing work? Can you answer that question for me? We'll walk through this. More general notary work.
Everything.
Okay.
I do it all. Do it all. If it pays, I do it all. But the default will be anything that's private, anything that I can control the price and I can control my time, because that's what I ultimately set out to do.
Well, your state controls your price, right? So all of the states tell us how much we can charge per notarial act, right? Here in Pennsylvania, I can only charge $5. Now, we make that up in other ways with a travel fee, and other people do other things to kind of justify their prices, right? So making sure that you set a price that's going to be good for yourself is extremely important. Now, when it comes to the general notary work side of things, I tell my customers all the time, take out a map and look at how far you're willing to drive for one notarization at your current travel fee. Now, if your state mandates what your travel fee is, then you really have to take a step back and consider, okay, at what point is it not worth it for me to go out there? If it's not going to be mileage, then it's got to be time. If I'm just going out someplace to do a 5-minute notarization, that's an hour and 15 minutes from my house. Now I'm going to be out of commission for 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 35 minutes. Right? Is it still worth my time at that point? See, there's still a break. There's a breaking point in that, right? So how much market research have you done to see how much money you could possibly make? Firstly. And when it comes to the notary work, the loan signing work, what's your profile look like? How many signings do you have under your belt? Are you doing the things like, are you listening to Griff? Are you putting in every signing that you get into SnapDocs? What have you done to show people that you are capable of doing the job? A lot of times we get into this thinking about money. It's got to be focused on, am I a good notary first? Because when it comes to general notary work, word of mouth is still the best way to get your business out there. So, are you using your stamp?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And getting your name out there is definitely one thing, but if you only run into the local title company, or if you only run into the nationwide signing service that only hits you up and for $40 and you have to drive an hour, then it takes 30 minutes for you to scan the documents,
or 45 minutes for you to sort it out, and then another 45 minutes for you to sit at the house, and then drive back to the FedEx to drop it off, and then to get back to the house, and then wait another 45 days to get paid, does it then diminish what it is that you're working at? Now, here's what I lean on, that once you become commissioned, you're free to run this operation to your hyper-specific, individualized liking. If you are available at 7 o'clock on a Thursday and I'm not, then automatically you become more valuable. The option to have the business operate molded around your life is so unique to notaries. And a lot of notaries can find themselves chasing something that they don't even know what it is. For instance, what is a notary? Well, it's somebody who witnesses signatures. True, but it's also somebody who secures another family's future. So if you only charge $2 and then you tell them, well, I charge $5 if I travel outside of 5 miles, and then an extra $1 if I travel another mile after that, now you become a nickel and dimer. You haven't solved the solution. You haven't demonstrated to a family or to a business or to a hospital or to anybody who's requesting your notary service what it is you actually provide. It is not just a signature or stamp. At the end of the day, ultimately, it is just a signature and a stamp. But on the other hand, from the emotional standpoint, you're solving a problem between me and my business partner, and we're trying to transfer 2 grant deeds out of our business LLC so that we can transfer it into our business name so that we can avoid a tax hike. So you're giving us a solution, and we actually need it today, and it's Sunday at 2 o'clock, and no one else answered, and everybody else I called, they interrogated me. See, a notary can be more than a notary. When you don't express what it is that you offer, because my mother got arrested, and now we have to bail her out, and the bail is $240,000. So I need to go get the grant deed signed, and I can't find a notary. Because when I called the last notary, they interrogated me to death, and they told me that I was put under duress and that they refused to sign it. So if you don't charge appropriately because you don't know what it is, you don't know what a notary actually is, then of course this won't be worth your time. Meanwhile, it don't matter where you live. I think the location has nothing to do with it. Of course it does. Of course it always does to some degree. But that's an easy scapegoat.
Not really.
Nobody has stopped looking for
Let me
notaries.
stop you for a second. To say that that's a scapegoat, it's a lot different when you are, let's say, you're dealing in the projects versus dealing in the suburbs. You're gonna, if you set your prices too high, you're gonna outprice yourself than what your population can afford. So I do think that location does play a little bit of a role in things. Because if you're dealing with more corporate manners, of course you can charge for that. But when you're dealing with just the general population, you could run the risk of outpricing yourself by setting your prices too high and sticking to those guns. Now, the beauty about being a notary is the fact that we have the ability to change that as we please, right? So there's benefits of stating a price and being able to come down, because then you can make your customer feel like they just got a deal, right? But I get what you're saying. No, and I'd like for you to continue, but I just wanted to kind of give that feedback that location kind of does matter a little bit more.
I think it's impossible to outprice yourself. It's impossible. Now, let's be realistic. You don't charge $1 million. That's realistic. But until you tell me that you don't have 1 million signatures, how do I know?
Okay. Hey,
see, I don't think it's impossible to outprice yourself. It's impossible. Because for what it is that you do as a commissioned notary, as an extension of the Secretary of State, as somebody who secures my house, my boat, my car, my horses, and the $80 million that I have stashed away, for what it is that you do, it could be worth $1 million. It could be.
It definitely could be.
It's very possible.
Well, let me ask you this question, though. Let me ask you this question. Okay, if you say it's impossible to outprice yourself, here's the question that I have. Day one, you get 3 phone calls. I said, $175. They said, nah, you're too expensive. And I'm like, you know what? I know my price. Day 2, same thing. I get 2 more phone calls. They pass on my prices. Now I'm moving towards the end of the week. I haven't made no money. Now I had a lower price at a price point that people may have said, okay, I'd have money coming in. But now I've missed out on 5 opportunities there because I outpriced myself. No money coming in is not good. Just waiting for the top dollar to come in. You got to get every dollar that you can. Especially right now, man. That's how I see it. But I respect how you see it as well. I don't think there's anything wrong with the way that you see things.
Agree. Correct. You can't. It's impossible to get every single person who contacts you. Just accept that. But at the same time, like, we understand that you cannot expect everybody to go ahead and hire you. It's just unrealistic, and it's dangerous to think that. But it's also dangerous to lower your price and your value to the point that now it's not even worth your time. So I start with the first question. At what point do you say, is it worth my time? Because if you miss out the first 3 calls because they say that you're expensive, here's the thing. It's not the price. It's the fact that they called you that's really the big issue. The fact that they actually called you and you spoke to them, now that's where the refining process of how you deliver what it is a notary is, how you deliver, how you convey the message to the people who are calling you, what it is that you're performing, and why does it cost $197 for one signature. And that's easy to do. That's just a matter of skill. It can be improved. It's not easy at first, but it can be improved. For example, if I call you and then you tell me, I tell you that I've got my daughter who is traveling to Mexico, and I need, they're traveling in 2 days, and I don't have a travel consent form. The question could be, can you help me? And you might say, it costs $197. And I might say, that's too high. And then you might say, okay, I understand that the price is a concern, but do you need it today, or do you need it tomorrow, or do you need it next week, or do you need us to draft it for you, or do you have it already printed and ready to be signed, or do I need to take it to you and your baby mama because y'all don't get along together and your baby mama lives down the street? So you could bake in the value there. See, you become a notary. You're a notary by name, but at the same time, you are the solution giver.
Well,
at the end of the day,
before you keep going, hold on 1 second. Before you keep going, you did say something, and I just want to clarify. You said drafting the document for them. That's not something we should be doing anyway. We can't charge for that.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
As a notary, if I have my notary hat on, I can't draft a document for somebody and then go and notarize it for them. That would be practicing law at that point. We can't do that.
Yeah, and as we all know, a lot of notaries know the law really well, but they can't get clients. See, the big issue is you know the law better than you know how to get the client. And you tell the person what you can't do. Everything, when customers hear what you can't do and how you can't help them, it's no surprise when you can't get the client. In other words, tell the person what you can, in fact, do instead. And now the client feels encouraged to work with you. So, no, I can't draft a document for you, but because I have a team of paralegals who work with me, we can get that done for you ASAP. So I can't draft a document, but I would caution notaries to you're not a lawyer. I would caution you to think that you went to law school, right? We all know that. We all know you didn't pass the bar, but at the same time, that doesn't stop you from being able to help the client. And it's important that you convey that message. This is how you command 500, 600, the highest appointment you've ever commanded. And this is how you put your stamp to work. This is how you express your value to everybody out there. It's a really good business overall. I love what it is that it offers and the insight, intelligence that we get from it. But at the same time, nobody has stopped looking for notaries. Do you agree?
You're right. Nobody has stopped. We are still
People
in
are
high
still
demand.
looking for notaries.
We are still in demand.
People are, high demand, regardless of what the market says. People have not stopped looking for notaries. If there are people looking for notaries in your town right now, you've got to express to them that you are there to help them. And notaries too often talk themselves out of business. But I appreciate what you're doing. This is one of the livest shows out there. I love it. Big up to you, Q. Good work, man. I'll be tapping in with you every single time.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Thank you for letting me talk, man. Thank you for letting me get that off my chest.
Hey, come back, because I like the conversation. I think, I know who this is. I'm not going to put it out there. I know who this is. I think that we see things a little bit differently, but the same. But I respect where you're coming from, and I hope that you can respect where I'm coming from. And like I said, there's some people out there that you can definitely check out because they've got some great information. So definitely check back in, man.
Much love to you. Much love to Philly. Go Philly. Go Philly Eagles.
Hey, we know what it is. Super Bowl time. All right, have a good one, man. And for those of y'all that aren't aware, as if you didn't already know, my Philadelphia Eagles are going to be in the Super Bowl on Sunday. Hey. What? I got a soundboard and I'm sitting here making sounds myself. Let's go. That was a great call. I appreciate that. You know, when it comes to fees for notaries, there's one word that really needs to be examined. And, you know, I would challenge somebody to give me a call back, if not next week, but coming up in the future. The word reasonable. When it comes to fees, a lot of states have that word in the wording. You got to remember, this is legalese. They say notaries may charge a reasonable fee. What defines reasonable? That is something that has yet to be brought to my plate, and I would love to know what reasonable stands for. Oh, did I just miss a phone call? Caller, if you just called in, I missed you. Call right back, please. I'm sorry about that. No? Oh, there we go. All right, thank you for calling the Notaries Anonymous hotline. Would you like your voice to be private or public?
Public.
All right. Talk to me. What's going on?
Would you like your voice to be private or public?
You there?
Public. All right. Talk to me. What's going on?
Reasonable fee just means that you tell them the fee up front, and if they accept it, it's reasonable. It's as simple as that.
Is that what it says in the legal dictionary? Is that what reasonable says? I'm asking. I mean, I have one right here, but I'd like to know if you know. All right, you got nothing else for me? I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the call. Thank you for calling in, caller. Call back, please. All right. We are at the hour mark. I did not say how long this was going to go, but you want to know something? I think an hour for the first time around is a great stopping point. Hey, listen, everybody, I appreciate you for coming out and joining me on this evening. I was a little nervous leading up to this, but I'm happy that some good people decided to call in, so I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Check out Griffin Notary Services on YouTube. Check out Mather Notary Services. Make sure that you check out the Notaries Unsealed podcast. We had a new episode coming out that came out today, every Tuesday. It was a little bit after 10 o'clock, but usually around 10 o'clock is when we get it going. Also, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the Captivated Notary here on YouTube. More videos will be coming. And hey, man, I appreciate y'all. Much love. That's what we do it for. We're here for this notary game, and we ain't going nowhere. Told y'all before, telling you again, we here to stay for a minute. All right, y'all. It's Captivated. Peace.